Welcome back to Science. I'm your host, Boston PhD. Joining me, as always, is Dr. Moon. Sorry, I look at my list of doctors here, and we have so many of us that are working at
By the
the
way,
Roguelike Science Lab.
yes, you have no idea how much effort it takes me to not say the B word when you say science with a
That's right.
couple an exclamation
That's right.
mark. By
You
the way,
you can add it in your own in your head while you're
I had it in my
listening.
head every
Yeah,
time.
yeah. We are here to pass some judgment on Balatro, our most recent We Roguelike It game that we've just completed. Quick reminder here that Returnal is the next game we'll be playing for the next month. Wanted to give a quick PSA here for Returnal. Please play this with the sound and the music on. It becomes important after a certain part of the game that I can't talk about yet because we haven't gotten to that point. But there's that. Not only is the sound design really good, but it's pretty important. So play that with the sound on, at least for a while. All right, so we're here to talk about where Balatro fits in our list of the best roguelikes of all time. Reminder, this list is infallible. Any other lists you see, totally wrong. The best
Because
source.
they didn't use science.
That's right. Only us at weroguelikeit.com, where you can see this list right now. We are the most correct of all time. We're going to talk about where this fits into the list after talk about our final thoughts of Balatro. And we ask the question we ask every month: will we keep playing this game after we're done covering it on the show? Moon,
I already
let's start
have
with you.
been, so yes.
Ditto.
Unfortunately, I have already gone down this rabbit hole and continued to play it while after the fact.
Yep.
I don't. I think the problem right now I have is I've got too many games which are my wind down games. I think once I'm done with A Little to the Left, once I'm done with Loop Hero, that nightmarish thing. If you only listen to this show, go listen to the main show.
Right.
I think once I'm done with them, I think Balatro will remain in my orbit for those games.
You're kind of like regular rotation.
Yeah, I found the key for that for me is make sure it's visible. So if I have it on my home screen, Slice and Dice was on my home screen on my phone. I've weaned myself off that now.
Right.
And Balatro is on my most recently played like 5 games on Xbox.
You have it
so
pinned there.
If it's there and visible, I will continue to play it. The second it slips off that list, that's when the concerns start to happen. Pretty much, yes.
Yeah. So, do you feel like Balatro eventually clicked with you kind of after your first win that we were talking about last week?
I mean, I think it clicked a little bit, but I'm still not at the point where everybody else seems to be at that point. Where you gotta
keep playing it?
Yes. Right. I don't know if I will ever get to that point.
Sure.
But the key part for me is it's still an enjoyable and easy enough like experience where I can just be like, yeah, cool. I can just chill. I can just play this a round or two and then not have to worry about it and then be done.
Yeah.
Like it's easy enough to get into it without needing to spend 6 hours getting myself back into the vibe of things.
Right.
And figuring out how and when I'm going to play it kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, I think that's been a big part of the reason why I have really been enjoying it over this past month. And I have definitely been playing it a ton ever since we wrapped last episode. And probably will until I unlock as much as I feel is healthy for my sanity, I guess.
You're going to keep playing until you get it all and you know it.
Yeah, probably. And like on that note, it's interesting because I think I was talking to Fayror from the community the other day, and she was mentioning like, boy, this is really your like 2024's Enter the Gungeon. I was like, yeah, it really is. Like, it's one of those roguelikes, like Atomicrops, like the original Risk of Rain, like one of those roguelikes that just comes around and you're like, yeah, I gotta I gotta squeeze every bit of coolness out of this
Uh-huh.
game that I can because it just really clicks with me for some reason. Um, and I
And
think that's
sometimes that just happens. Like we
yeah,
witnessed that with Atomic Crops. Like
yep.
I never would have thought any of us would have gone as hard as we did on Atomic Crops, but it just turned out to be too perfect of a game for us.
And that's what I love so much about this genre is you get these games every once in a while where you're like, this is all I'm going to play for the next month. Like this is the only game when I have time to sit down and play something. This is what I want to check out. Like I'm playing Balatro and I'm playing Slice and Dice at the same time. Like just kind of enjoying both of these games pretty constantly, and I think that's really cool. And I'm glad we got around to playing Balatro because it'll probably be in my top 10 list this year because it's just one of those
Mhm.
games that just really clicked with me, and I really, really love it. And thankfully, one of those games that I feel like every once in a while we play these games where it's like everybody loves this game and you play it and you're like, I don't really see what you're talking about. This is one of those games where I played it and I was like, yep, you guys are right. It
Yeah.
is that good. And it even maybe if it didn't even click with you, the listener, I think a lot of people have been able to look at it and be like, maybe it's not for me, but I get it. Like I get why so many people are way into this. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is like, I don't know if it not clicking with me is. I don't know if it's a case of like just the methodology of playing. I don't know if it's
Mhm.
because my brain is not working in that way right now.
Right.
Like,
Well,
I
if
genuinely.
for anybody that's listening, we playing video games isn't our job. As much as
Yes.
that would probably be like an amazing double-edged sword. Um, we have real jobs. We have like we're not sitting here streaming for 12 hours a day. Like this isn't the thing we do. So we're fitting this stuff in around the rest of our lives, and that means that some months we get to play a lot because we have a little bit of free time, and some months we don't because we're working a lot or there's family stuff or we're just too tired to play a game that largely relies on a lot of math. Like it doesn't really at the end of the day, but you kind of know what I'm saying. Um, and like that's why I've been playing a lot of Balatros because I can play a hand, I can put it down and enjoy the soundtrack while I'm doing some other stuff or like taking care of my kid, kind of fitting it in the cracks wherever I can and kind of finding enjoyment in that. And that has been a large part of why I've been really enjoying this game overall.
Yeah, and like for me, I think part of the issue I was having was like it's trying to fit it in around those other things, but also like
Mhm.
I have such limited time. I have since January. I've had like
Yeah.
maybe if I'm lucky. I think I did the like what was I did the math on like a couple of like the end of last year. I think I said I think I've played 30 minutes of video games a day if you
Hmm.
divide it by the
Yeah.
entire year.
Right. Right.
And that's what it worked out to was like that's how much time I'm getting is like
Yeah.
if I'm lucky 30 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And like
Time is at a
that's not
premium
a lot of
lately.
time
Yeah.
like to jump in and get everything organized kind of thing.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. So all that being said, let's talk about where we're going to put this on the list here. Moon and I off mic always ask like where are we going to start the list here because we don't want to like make that decision here on mic. And Moon
Uh-huh.
saved me from myself and said, let's just start at 11 with Into the Breach. So we're going to ask, is Balatro better than Into the Breach?
This is another game that also at the time that we played it did not click
Mm-hmm.
with me 100%.
That's
It's a
true.
game I can respect, I can appreciate it, but it's a game that I haven't gone back to. Also because we were playing it on PC at the time, which is always a iffy thing for me,
Mm-hmm.
we'll say.
And much more of
Um,
a like mentally heavy lifting game for Into the Breach.
yes, and that's like something that this game I think is pretty solid with. Like I
Yeah.
think it's not as mentally heavy, but also the fact that I can play it on my Xbox, which is my platform of choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
huge benefit with it being on everything and coming to mobile
Yeah.
at some point too. So
Yeah.
not out at the time of the review. Yeah, that's gonna be
thank goodness for that.
gonna be a real problem, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think I can feel the tendrils of this easier than I can with Into the Breach, so I'm fine with it going above Into the Breach.
I agree. Is Balatro better than Everspace, All Hail the Gunship?
No, I'm kidding. Shortest episode ever. Actually, the
Yeah.
shortest episode might be Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, I was ready to
let's just
come
deal
in
with this
here
mess.
and have a Vampire Survivors moment, but I didn't want to. I know where I would like this to sit on the list.
Okay, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you said you want to potentially have a Vampire Survivors moment.
Mm-hmm.
Hand on heart.
Yes, I'm putting my hand on my heart.
Taking my own issues I am having with this game out of it. Mine says bruv underneath it, so you know. Is this 3 for you?
Does this go 100% number 3.
Vampire Survivors?
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
Because I think, to me, not that I need to like defend my scientific position.
I would put it above pretty much. There's a lot on here I think it could go above.
Yeah,
there's a lot of arguments that could be made.
Right.
For it to be like to stop at Cryptid and Necrodancer, to stop at Rogue Legacy, to stop at all of the other things.
Right.
But I look at this and again, my own mental issues to the side for 1 second. Take this box, put all my emotions in it, and move it to one side.
Right.
Which is part of the problem. I understand that you don't have to at me. Therapy is expensive. Okay.
That's right.
But I think it's slowly clicking with me, and that could just be because I don't have the time to play it as much as everybody else. But seeing how much this game has demolished not just our communities, who are a fine purveyors of roguelikes, a lot of them, or a lot of them, I should say.
Go join the Discord.
Yes. But how much this game has overtaken the world. Like, everybody seems to be talking about. This is Hades level of, oh, hey, look, this is a roguelike and maybe y'all should play it like right now kind of thing.
Everybody's got that music stuck in their head. And like, if this was my personal list, I would have it probably higher than this.
You think it goes 2?
Yeah, but I think, to me, Balatro and Vampire Survivors are 2 peas in a pod. They are this more relaxed. I know that sounds like kind of the opposite of Vampire Survivors, but Vinny Caravello used the word meditative. Like, Balatro and Vampire Survivors are kind of this like meditative. It's not like playing these action shooters. It's not playing like a bullet. It's not playing a Returnal. It's not playing these kind of more actiony moment to moment Twitch sort of things. They're these turn-based or more chill kind of experiences, and I think that, to me, is so attractive at the moment. And I think what I love about Balatro is the meta game of it is so strong and having so many jokers. But I think the thing that I love about it, it's the thing I've been thinking about this last week, is it has the opposite problem that the Binding of Isaac has. Where the Binding of Isaac, you do something so incredibly difficult that you're working on for dozens of hours, and it gives you a baby. And you're like, well, I seem to have wasted my time. Fantastic. Everything I do in Balatro that's incredibly difficult, or kind of incredibly, like, getting all the pieces put together so they fall perfectly to get this Joker unlocked. You get the Joker unlocked, and you're like, oh, that is incredibly powerful. Like, every time, that's really worth the effort of doing this. It's not just like, hey, now you get 1 more mult for diamonds. Haha! It's like, that's useless. Like, that's not any good. I like that there's a
until it is.
Yeah, that's true. But like, I like the respect for your time and the respect for your investment that I don't think we get from a lot of roguelikes, of just like, you did this hard thing. Now we're giving you something powerful that makes you more powerful and has you play better hands and get further in the game, do harder challenges and stuff like that. And I think something that Slice and Dice does really well, something that Balatro does really well, something that Vampire Survivors does really well. And I think, to me, I think that's why I was just like, yeah, that's number 3 on our list, I think.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, congratulations, Balatro, for cracking the top 5. Like we said,
I mean,
turns out
it's a strong enough game to have one of those moments again. You know?
Yeah, like one of those where you just know, you're like, yeah, this is somewhere in the top. Like once it starts unfolding, I was just like, yeah, this might be an all timer here at the top. It's interesting because I think personally for me, I think it would beat Hades if it was just like a list for me. But I think Hades does things better than Balatro does, especially, taking storyline and multiple runs and unlockables and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
we'll see where Hades 2 does
once
it comes out in like 2 years or whatever.
Is this a Hand of Fate 2 moment where it's like 6 below the original?
Right. Who knows? We'll see. But reminder here, weroguelikeit.com is where you can see this giant spreadsheet of ours and find links to buy all the games and listen to the episodes if you're catching up on something like Everspace and you don't realize when we say all hail the gunship. Go ahead and click on that audio or video link. Pop on over, start listening to that. Listen to some
also
old...
maybe start playing that game.
Yeah, listen to some classic We Roguelike It. Again, we're playing Returnal here for the next month. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. And we'll see you all next run. Bye.
Bye.